Donald Trump, unfortunately, he has committed more than 7 capital sins. He has committed thousands of sins. So we're going to break the piñata for everyone who wish to break something.
It probably doesn't surprise you that the woman we just saw dressed as an Aztec high priestess calls Portland, Oregon home. After all, that's the place that has the unofficial motto, Keep Portland Weird. It's weird, all right, and its weirdness is augmented by an ugliness that anyone other than leftists would decry as hate speech. As alluded to by the pretend priestess, those who gathered for the grand opening of a new food cart, which would be called the Little Devil in English, think Donald Trump is the devil incarnate. So they put together a Trump piñata to be broken apart, and the little lefties in attendance didn't disappoint their elders, though to you and me what they did was disgusting. Take a look and listen closely.
I want to kill him. You want to kill him?
So much for the tolerant left, huh? The irony of that aging hippie holding the severed Trump piñata head prompts several questions, but I'll limit it to just one. What do you think would happen if the same thing were done to a President Obama piñata? Yep, the alphabet networks would be all over it, and the Secret Service would be all over the presidential piñata breakers. But since it's Trump, don't look for any mention of this from the alphabets, much less any Secret Service scrutiny. And to think, a Republican president who was an open borders enthusiast was less than enthusiastic about Portland. George H.W. Bush nicknamed the place Little Beirut. But these days, Portland more resembles Benghazi. That's the way I see it. Now, it's time for the way you see it, your comments via social media. First, we hear from Randy writing in about accused deserter Bo Bergdahl breaking his silence. Randy writes, he deserted his post. 5 other soldiers died trying to save him. He worked for the extremist he surrendered to. This was treason. His story makes me sick. Next, we hear from Bert, who had questions about climate change after that global agreement was reached. Here's what he writes. Global warming and climate change is a hoax. I can give you a series of real facts, not computer models that prove it. We need to address the real problems. And finally, we hear from Betty, who writes about our current commander-in-chief. Here's what Betty has to say, quote, any idiot can see that certain Islamic extremists declared war on us here in our own country. They are living in every state. Americans are dying, not in battle, but in places of work. Obama needs to stop refugees from coming here until we examine who is already here. He does not know how to protect the American people. And in case you need to know how to send us your comments, here's the way you do so. Go to newsmaxtv.com/comments. And before we go, it is worth noting once again, this programming reminder, please make plans to join us here on Newsmax TV tomorrow night for our post-debate special. We'll have a recap and your reaction, plus a lot more. That is tomorrow night, starting at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Pacific here on Newsmax TV. Stay brave, stay free, stay tuned.